Welcome to Cocktail and Commodities, the resources podcast where macro analysis meets mining insights. Today we are going to investigate a company taking a fresh approach to a historic mining district. Now, when you mention the name Nevada to Australians, they often don't realise how mineral rich this state of America is. But the fact is you can find almost any type of rock in Nevada, and this is due to its unique geology. Now, last year, Nevada was actually voted the world's top mining jurisdiction, putting Western Australia in second place. And since 2019, M&A in the state of Nevada has been heating up. But this isn't because of the big companies. Rather, it's big companies are following the lead from little companies. You see, there's been a lot of small junior explorers that have been slowly and strategically acquiring ground in previous historic mining districts in Nevada, hoping to prove that these soils are actually still quite fertile for metals. And big companies have started to take notice. The list of companies entering or re-entering the state for the first time include Newcrest Mining, Equinox Gold, and Anglo Gold Ashanti. Now, Anglo Gold Ashanti is a particularly interesting one because they are one of the first few companies to re-enter a particular trend in Nevada since 1994. Now, there's three main geological trends in Nevada. They are the Carlin Trend, the Cortez Trend, and the Walker Lane Trend. In spite of the Walker Lane Trend having been consecutively mined since the late 1850s, many have actually said that it is perhaps the most unexplored district in Nevada. Now, what they mean by that is that basically modern day exploration methods haven't really been applied to this particular geological trend, and that there perhaps is plenty more gold to be found. Here to tell us a little bit more about Nevada's exploration revival and in more detail about why the Walker Lane Trend in particular should be further explored is Peter Moore from Sierra Nevada Gold. Peter, how are you?
I'm pleased to be here. It's terrific.
All right, so first of all, let's kick off with some of your mining credentials. Now, I know some listeners might remember you as a bit of a legendary Collingwood football player and Melbourne football player, I believe, but you've actually been playing in the dirt longer than you've been playing with pigskins. Now, tell me, how does a boy from Eltham end up out as a fieldy in the Pilbara?
Well, it's an interesting story. A lot of people ask that question. My dad's actually a geology professor, so when he was doing his PhD, I used to wag school and be sick and go out with him in the field. And then when he was a professor of geology at a university in the States, he used to come back in the summers and we would go out in the field, in the Pilbara primarily, and be his field assistants, my brother and I. So it was hot work, but I got a taste for it and enjoyed it, and then went on to play football for 13 or 14 years and did a law degree and was practicing as a lawyer for a while, and then Dad developed a remote sensing technology that we set up a company around, and we spent 25 years consulting using this proprietary remote sensing technology. So yeah, I've been involved for a long time, and I enjoy the excitement of it. It's great.
So let's talk about some of the excitement that you're developing out there in Nevada. Now, even though Sierra Nevada Gold only listed in May last year, so happy listing to you, happy 1 year anniversary to you. The company's been around for about 10 years. However, what I want to know is why Nevada? Because Australia is a prolific gold nation. We've got plenty of places to explore. What is it about Nevada that, took you out there?
Well, Australia's fairly crowded with companies participating, and Nevada was an area that we did a lot of remote sensing projects in, and in 2010 a lot of that data came back, reverted to us as ownership. So we applied that data and looking for in a counter-cyclical situation where the market wasn't that strong, we started looking for good projects in Nevada. So that's how I got started in it, and we privately funded the company for 10 years, raised $12 million US over that period, doing work on putting projects together, establishing land positions, doing exploration on quite a few of the projects and advancing them. So by the time we listed last year, we'd been in it for 10 years in Nevada, and got some really significant results that we wanted to follow up. So we needed access to capital, bigger shareholding, and decided to IPO. And since the IPO in May, we've drilled 4 of the 5 projects, and did a big core hole on our copper porphyry project at Black Hawk, which was a 1,200 metre hole, which was a really positive outcome, and also some RC holes on Colourback and a high-grade epithermal project at Warrior, and also a New Pass mine project as well. So got some good results on all of those, and we've got some interesting stuff to follow up.
Now, you've name-dropped a couple of your more exciting projects in there, so we'll get back to them. But I want to, being the geology nerd that I am, I sort of want to knuckle down to the geology of Nevada. Yeah. Now, Nevada has been producing gold for over 150 years now. It's, I think, contributed, 400 million ounces of gold to the world. Yeah. Now, it's famous for the Carlin trend, but two of your key projects are actually operating out of the lesser-known but trend called the Walker Lane trend, I believe.
Yeah. Well, there are three trends there. There's the Carlin trend, the Battle Mountain trend, and the Walker Lane trend. The more well-known ones are Battle Mountain and Carlin, where the major 150 million and 100 million ounces produced historically. Where some really big mines. We've got one project in the Battle Mountain trend, which is just in a 5 square mile area, 60 million ounces around it. So it's a prolific area, but Nevada's the fourth largest gold producing district in the world, and there's plenty of big mines there, multiple 15 million, 20 million ounce mines. The Walker Lane trend's attractive to us because it's a very well endowed zone. It's got the famous Comstock lode in it, which was a massive 200 million ounce silver and gold, and I think 30 million ounces of gold produced in that mine as well. So it's in the trend, and there's lots of copper, gold, other minerals produced historically from the Walker Lane trend, but it's been largely ignored from an exploration point of view by the majors because all of their focus is on the other two trends. So we got in there 10 years ago, got some good projects and a couple of discoveries in the Walker Lane trend, and we think it's got really significant potential. And there are a lot of other major companies in there now that weren't there when we first got in. So we were early into the area, and we think it's got significant upside.
Now, you've had some really good wins since you IPO'd last year. In particular, Black Hawk and Warrior have had some promising results come through. Tell me, are you doing anything differently out in this space, or is it really just nobody's bothered to look properly?
Well, they're all historic. All of our projects are based in historic mining areas, and if these projects were in Australia, they would have been had thousands of holes drilled in them. So these projects, Warrior, for example, was a historically high-grade producer. We have got historic underground samples of the vein material that was mined that runs from 30 ounces. 30 grams per tonne up to 90 grams per tonne in some cases. So super high grade little mining area, and we've managed to drill that last year, and we've expanded the model now, so it's a much bigger high grade epithermal system than was previously known. Previous drilling had been very shallow and very limited, so virtually no exploration done, and in a really good area with plenty of good mines along trend. So we have identified a large-scale, high-grade epithermal system, which we know at this stage is at least 2.5 kilometres long from the separation of the holes that we've drilled. So we had an intercept of 143 metres at 0.3 grams, which is very encouraging for the scale of the system. So we've been working hard on that project since. It's become our focus because we think it's a pathway to resource is going to be the quickest on that project, and we've generated with geology and geophysics and other work in the last few months some really fantastic targets that we plan to drill when we start drilling in July, August. So with results probably due September, October. So we're really excited about that project, and we like it. We also drilled Colourback, which is in the prolific Battle Mountain trend, and that project has a small shallow oxide resource historic, which we drilled to test our new drill rig and confirmed that a small resource. So that's an exciting opportunity as well. But our focus is going to be on Warrior, and also we have a discovery hole of Black Hawk, which we drilled in 2018, and that's on the epithermal project at Black Hawk, high-grade gold, and we've got a good intercept, about 5 metres at 30 grams gold equivalent, so or thereabouts. So really high grade, multi-element intersection that we've got to follow up. So we've got some exciting drilling ahead of us.
Now, you are lucky because you've done basically the grunt work and you've spent 10 years establishing some solid prospects and drill-ready targets. You're a little bit spoilt for choice, and as you said, you've got key areas of focus that you're looking at. But something that came to your attention, I believe, during last year's drilling is some exciting prospects at New Pass. Now, I believe in a past interview you said that New Pass hasn't had modern exploration since the 1960s. So now that you've gone and stuck some rigs in the ground, what are you seeing there?
Well, we drilled a limited program at New Pass because it's in the mountains. Snow came a bit early, so we drilled half a dozen holes into it. We intersected the vein at depth below and along strike from the old workings. We've also done a geosurvey of the old workings, and there's a lot of remnant ore in there. We've done sampling of along the drives in the old mine, and it's pretty exciting. There's two parallel veins and several smaller veins as well, but the veins are between 1 and 2 metres wide. The ore body there, or the veins produced at around 17 to 20 grams per tonne. We've been able to confirm that we got an intercept of 17 grams per tonne over a couple of metres. So we've confirmed that the grade is there and the veins are there. So that's a project that's got a number of targeted drill holes ready to drill, and we hope to get to it later in the year. But the priority at this stage is Warrior, and possibly then Black Hawk, and then New Pass. So the three of them all warrant drilling, but we've got to focus, and so we've decided to focus on Warrior. But the other projects are potential company makers as well. So we're in a good position in terms of projects and targets to drill.
Now, Peter, the Black Hawk project is particularly dear to my heart because it's actually divided into two projects, and I believe that you have the makings of a porphyry system on your hand. Can I get you to elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, it's a really exciting project. The Black Hawk project initially we discovered out of a proprietary low-altitude helimag survey we ran over 500 square miles of ground in Nevada in the Walker Lane Trend. We didn't own any of the land at that point. We just did it on spec, and out of that came the Black Hawk project. Initially, we were looking at the historic mining area, which is high-grade epithermal, which we've got that discovery hole in already. But on the data, we also discovered that it looked like it had some other kind of ore body potentially there based on the geophysics that we did. So we expanded the geophysics and discovered a world-class scale copper gold porphyry system that we've drilled twice. We drilled 3 holes in it. We drilled 2 holes prior to the pandemic and got good porphyry alteration, really encouraging results that the experts say is proximate to the core of a porphyry system. We drilled another hole post-listing, put a 1,200 metre hole into it, got the same sort of alteration, got anomalous copper throughout it. We've very encouraged by what we're seeing. But it is a world-class scale system in terms of size. So it's a bit big for a small company like us to explore on our own, and we've been actively engaging with major companies with a view to joint venturing that project. We think the best way to fund the ongoing drilling on the porphyry is to bring a major partner in to bring that expertise plus the capital required to drill. Porphyries are expensive, and we love the project, but if it's there, it's $1 billion resource, and therefore, a smaller percentage of that is going to be fine for a company like ours. So that's our strategy with the porphyry. The second part of the Black Hawk project is the high-grade epithermal gold system, which we're really excited about. We've got the discovery hole in it from 2018. We didn't drill it last year because of limited time. We would have liked to have followed that up, but we really wanted to assess the other 3 high-grade gold projects in order to prioritise where we're going to concentrate our efforts going forward. So we've done that, and we already know that Black Hawk is highly prospective, and the epithermal is a great target. So we've already got from 2018 10 permitted holes at Black Hawk, and so we're going to later in the year, after we've drilled Warrior, we're going to get up there and drill some more holes in that, which we think based on the hole we've already drilled, we should get some really encouraging results. So that's what we're looking forward to. Actually, I'm really excited about drilling both of those projects, and then hopefully we'll get to New Pass as well.
Now, before we draw today's interview to a conclusion, I just want to say, in a former life as an equity analyst, your company ticks a lot of the boxes that I look for in an exploration project. You're well established. You're not new to the market, but you're a well established company. You're out in elephant country. You're surrounded by mining giants, which makes JVs all the more likely. And you're in a trend that hasn't been well explored. Tell me, what else would my analysis have left out here about your company that you should draw my attention to?
Well, I think one of the key factors is the 5 projects are all quality projects. We put these projects together because they were the best of about 50 projects we looked at in order to put this package together. And normally a listing like ours would have one major project and a few stocking fillers, that lesser developed projects. Well, these are all high quality projects, and we are trying to eliminate some, but so far we haven't been able to because they're all pretty strong at this stage. So, we've got plenty of high quality targets, high quality projects, and therefore the chances of a discovery, of a major discovery, we think are pretty good with the projects we've got, and the initial results seem to confirm that. So that's the difference, I think, is that, and we're not many Australian companies are in Nevada, and there's a few now, but it's a really highly prospective area, particularly. Well, in the past, dominated by the Canadians. Small Canadians generally run the junior exploration sector there, and so we've a bit of an anomaly, but we think with our experience, I've been there for 30 years, I know how good it is, and I know we're just a couple of drill holes away from, perhaps something really big. So, we're excited about it. It's a really great area to be involved in.
Actually, that is something I'm going to draw investors' attention to, and this is your approach to the management's approach to developing the project. You've actually brought in external experts to help confirm the data of what you're seeing in the past. Yeah. You really haven't just had a myopic view on this. No. You've really been quite strategic and an early mover in bringing new life to this area.
Well, that's right. And with the porphyry, for example, we had Dr. Greg Corbett from Sydney, one of the world's leading porphyry experts, come in and evaluate the project and do a report early so that we could confirm that we were looking at a porphyry, and helped us confirm the scale of it and evaluate the drilling that we've done. So he's endorsed that it's a strong porphyry target. We recently had a world-renowned expert, Dick Silito, in to look at the Warrior project because last year's drilling showed us that we had potentially really quite a significant size mineral system. He agrees with that. The high-grade historic mining, super high-grade historic mining, we thought might have been a separate thing, a separate sort of supergene enrichment of something deeper, but Silito felt that it was part of the system, so that's encouraging. So it's a significant, he agrees it's a significant system, and we've been working really hard the last couple of months in the field, doing lots of rock chip sampling all the dumps, doing lots of geology, geochem and geophysics to really zone in on our priority targets so that these next round of holes, we put them in the best possible spots so we can and give ourselves a good chance for a decent hit.
Now, I've got 2 more questions to round out today's interview. First of all, I want to know, what can I expect to hear from your company later this year? You've been quite active, like you haven't shied away from getting these rigs in the ground and delivering to shareholders. But from a news flow point of view, what can we expect to see later this year?
Well, we'll have we're doing a lot of work at Warrior now. We'll have some updates in relation to that once that work's completed in the next few weeks. Which I think should be pretty encouraging. We're planning to start drilling late July. We've got a rig slotted in there at Warrior, and we're looking to drill about 3,000 metres in that initially on the first round before we move to Black Hawk, and we should be getting good news flow sort of later after the August, September time and into October, and actually till the end of the year really on those drilling programs. So investors can expect good news flow, and as we know, it's a tightly held stock. A bit of good news is really going to go a long way in terms of the share price performance. So we're hopeful that those good results will see us realise a bit of value.
Now, Peter, the project sounds incredible. I absolutely love it. But I'm going to take you on a tangent for this final question. This podcast is called Cocktails and Commodities. So if I found you at a bar and I asked to buy you a drink, what cocktail would I be buying you?
I'd be buying me a dry Kettle One martini up with 2 olives. That's an Americanism. I've been over there too long.
Well, look, I'm not wealthy enough or eccentric enough to be able to drink at 10 a.m. in the morning, but maybe one day in an American bar I will be able to buy you that one.
All right, look forward to it.
Peter, thanks for being here. This has been fantastic, and I cannot wait to see the adventure that Sierra Nevada Gold goes on.
Yeah, it's an exciting year coming up, and we're really looking forward to it.
If you want to learn more about what Peter and the team at Sierra Nevada Gold are doing, make sure you go to their website, sngold.com. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the podcasts here at Cocktails and Commodities. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.